Welcome to my views and news and the video for you. Firstly, Aksum pictures are being shared. Several viewers shared with me as well pictures showing some soldiers, Ethiopian National Defense Force soldiers standing in Aksum. Is Aksum under EDF control now? Secondly, Oromia region of Ethiopia, where at least 3 drone strikes were conducted on Wednesday. On Wednesday morning, Oromo Liberation Army launched an attack on a town in Vasheva. After that, 3 drone strikes were conducted. Who are the victims of the drone strikes? Thirdly, we have no story about an upcoming demonstration in Brussels in coming hours. Ethiopian diaspora community is going to protest in Brussels. EU has been criticizing Ethiopian and Eritrean governments over the ongoing war in northern Ethiopia. That is why a protest in Belgium, Brussels, is planned for Thursday. And lastly, viewers, Dr. Tedros, the most powerful voice for Tigrayans, spoke a few hours ago about alleged genocide in Tigray. What did he say? After his remarks about Tigray, we are seeing a campaign against Dr. Tedros for his removal from WHO. Firstly, viewers, several viewers in comment sections, through emails, through messages, shared some pictures with me. They said, Sajid, you are far behind. Your reporting is very slow when it comes to ENDF's gains, when it comes to EDF's gains, gains by Amhara forces, and when you report about their gains, you're not excited, you look very sad. Don't know why people make such accusations about me. There is nothing to be happy when it comes to reporting war. War means death. War means killings. So war is not something to be happy about. No matter whose gains we are reporting. Pictures are being shared, and those who are sharing the pictures claim that ENDF and Amhara forces have taken control of Aksum. You can see the pictures on your screen. These pictures are being shared as evidence that ENDF and Amhara forces are in Aksum. Yesterday we reported that there was fighting near Aksum city, though still at a distance from Aksum city, but Aksum is not under ENDF control so far while I'm recording this video. No ENDF, EDF or Amhara forces are in Aksum. These pictures are old pictures, I have confirmed. The pictures are from, I think, the first phase of the war. First phase between November 2020 and June 2021. Back then, we know that Ethiopian government forces, federal forces and Eritrean forces, they took control of Aksum. And back then, in an incident, dozens of innocent civilians were killed in Aksum. Tigray says that that was one of the worst massacres in Aksum. So, the pictures being shared are old pictures. Aksum is not under ENDF and Amhara EDF control. Secondly, viewers, Oromia region of Ethiopia, where some drone strikes were carried out. The strikes were carried out in Vashava zone of Oromia, around 100 kilometers away from Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. These drone strikes were conducted. At least 3 strikes are being reported. Mata Velekati is a town, is a place in Vasheva. In Mata Velekati, there is Minare town. The drone strikes were conducted in Minare. And in Minare on Wednesday morning, Oromo Liberation Army fighters attacked a military camp of government forces. And hours after that, drone strikes were carried out. Who were killed in the strikes? It's not clear. No pictures, no videos so far. Were the killed persons OLA members or civilians? It's not clear. Some say civilians have been targeted, that government forces wanted to target OLA members, but civilians have been killed. It's not clear, but 3 drone strikes are being confirmed in Oromia. And we know that it's not the first time that Ethiopian forces have used drones, combat drones in Oromia. In some previous videos as well, a few months ago, we reported about drone strikes in Oromia. And back then, I think Iranian Muhajir 6 drones were used by Ethiopian forces for drone strikes on Oromia. And these Iranian Muhajir 6 drones were seen at an airport in BG. Maybe from BG, from Banishangal Gumaz, these Iranian drones were used for these strikes on Minare town in Oromia. More than a dozen casualties are being reported. OLA is not confirming that any of its fighters have been killed. We'll have to wait. So far, no statement from the government about these drone strikes, but we have confirmed through some local sources that drone strikes were conducted. Thirdly, viewers, on Thursday in coming hours, a demonstration is expected in Brussels, Belgium. Ethiopian diaspora community is planning this demonstration in Brussels. We know that EU has been calling for cessation of hostilities, for resumption of talks, and EU withheld financial aid for Ethiopian government last year. The aid has not been restored so far. Unlike US, EU has taken a strong position about the ongoing conflict in Ethiopia. It wants immediate stopping of war, resumption of talks, and EU's position is stronger than that of US in terms of putting pressure upon Ethiopian federal government. Protest going to be held is against TPLF, is against foreign interference in Ethiopia. We'll update in coming hours. And lastly, Dr. Tedros is speaking once again while TDF is under pressure, TDF is losing ground. Dr. Tedros says that window for averting a genocide is closing fast. Narrow window is available, and he said that Ethiopian and Eritrean governments were using hunger, siege as weapons of war against Tigray. He said it was a health issue, so that is why it was his duty as WHO chief to highlight the issue. After these remarks passed by Dr. Tedros, a massive social media campaign was launched for his removal from WHO. The campaign going on for months. Even Ethiopian government lodged a formal complaint against him, but he could not be removed from WHO head. Rather, he was re-elected as WHO chief a few months ago. Take a listen to what he said. Thank you for watching.
There is no other situation globally in which 6 million people have been kept under siege for almost 2 years. Banking, fuel, food, electricity, and healthcare are being used as weapons of war. Media also is not allowed, and every distraction of the civilians is done in darkness. Even people who have money are starving because they can't access their bank for 2 years. Children are dying every day from malnutrition. There are no services for tuberculosis, HIV, diabetes, hypertension, and more. Those diseases which are treatable elsewhere are now a death sentence in Tigray. But my job is to draw the world's attention to crises that threaten the health of people wherever they are. This is a health crisis for 6 million people, and the world is not paying enough attention. I urge the international community and the media to give this crisis the attention it deserves. There is a very narrow window now to prevent genocide. I repeat, there is a very narrow window now to prevent genocide in Tigray.